Hi, and welcome to this episode of Brainy Moms. I'm Dr. Amy Moore, here with my co-host Terry Miller, coming to you again from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Our guest today is clinical social worker Danica Kopp. As a licensed clinical psychotherapist, Danica has over 25 years of experience working with adolescents. She's an expert in adolescent communication and development and counsels them through major life changes and struggles. Now she's helping parents launch their teens to adulthood successfully.
Hi, Danica.
Hello, thank you.
So glad you are with us and talking about something that I think most parents struggle with, how to help launch our teenagers. I think most parents, we just struggle with having teenagers at all. It's just really challenging. And then
Absolutely.
how to help them launch into adulthood and to spread their wings and fly when one day they act like a child and the next day they want to be an adult. And it's a hard topic. So
it is.
Yeah. Before we even get into all your work and your amazing advice, tell us your background, tell us your quick story and what brought you to where you are doing this work today.
Sure, thank you. So I am a licensed clinical social worker. So I have a bachelor's and master's degree, both in social work. I was lucky that at 16, my parents had a foster child and I was like, I want to do what the social worker does. So I got into that right away. And I think when I graduated from college, it was easy to go work with teenagers. You know, it was an area that I felt like I could be an expert in. And when we graduate and we're going to go get our first career, you want to feel like, okay, I'm not faking this. Like, I don't want to go work with parents when I'm not a parent. I'm a 22-year-old kid, you know? So I also hated being an adolescent. So I could really resonate with like the pain points of being a teenager and feeling such on the outside and feeling like you're just never good enough. And just that really resonated for me. So teenagers have kind of been my specialty. And despite different, job, career changes, I worked in the ER doing psych screenings. I've done home-based. I've done directing a foster care agency. I kind of always end up back with teenagers as kind of like who I want to be with. And so when I went into private practice 12 years ago, I was like, all right, I'm going to do everybody. Anxiety, depression is my main things. And of course, I work well with teenagers. So you see one teenager who likes you and then refers other people to you. And next thing you know, I have a caseload of teenagers. Again, I've always kind of remained in that pain point that they kind of sit in. And I think as I've seen the generations change, how much social media and the tech-centric nature of our lifestyles really has changed the ability to be social. And so that's kind of what led me to, all right, I got to help parents now because, I'm helping a teen at a time, but I'm not helping a lot of teens. And I'm seeing more and more teens with no direction and a real level of social anxiety, but not because they're actually anxious. They're anxious because they don't know what they're doing. And so it is scary. It's scary to go out and have to talk to an adult. It's scary to have to ask a job, can I take a break? Like when I don't talk to people, how do I do that? And these were natural skills that probably all three of us got growing up because we had a house phone. Hello. Oh, may I speak with Mrs. Bolak? Yep. One moment, please. May I take a message? We were naturally instructed on how to do that. It wasn't even like a skill or, hi, Mrs. Smith, can Johnny come out and play today? That's how we interacted. And so we naturally had those skills to talk to people because you had to.
I definitely see that in my own teenagers and my older kids that are young adults, that was a big struggle. Yeah. Even
Yes.
Simple things like nobody ever called on the house phone, it didn't exist. And so simple things like, okay, buddy, you need to call and schedule that appointment. And yeah, you can just see the anxiety rise. What do I say? And then he gets on the phone and they're asking things like, what's your birth date and what's your name? And he's like, he can't think.
Yes. Yep. But to realize that, we send these kids off to college and like residents' life, when there's an issue in their dorm and they need facilities to come out, isn't going to text them. They're going to call and say, what's the problem? Okay, what time works for you? So, my sister works for BU. She's like, we have massive issues with getting in touch with people. And then we have parents calling us and we're like, yeah, we've been trying to reach your kid. Your kid doesn't answer the phone.
Right.
Or you take your car in for service. You know, they're not going to text you to tell you what's wrong. They're going to call you and say, oh, you know, this, that, and the other thing, like this could wait, this can't, what do you want to do? And so, you know, these things, they're not going to be text. They're just not.
Well, and I noticed that teens don't always set up their voicemail. And so
They don't.
they're not going to know if they've been called unless they,
Yes.
or who called
Yes.
them if they don't set that up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think normalizing, you know, and helping kids to start to, you know, make those appointments, you know, like you having your son, you know, my daughter's sophomore year, she was planning to go away to college, like not near me. So I was like, all right, come on over. I'm going to make your yearly physical appointment. I'm going to put it on speakerphone and you're going to listen to me. And so it was kind of like an I do, we do, you do, sophomore, junior, senior year. So junior year, we're going to call together. And I said to the woman, you know, we're making my daughter's yearly physical appointment. She's here. I'm going to have her set it up, you know, and so then, you know, okay, you know, what's your name, honey, you know, and looking at my daughter and she, you know, and I'm like, tell her your name. What's your date of birth? You know your date of birth, right? And so then she had done it. And then, you know, taking her to the doctor and being like, you know, I prepared her, like, you know, what are your concerns? What do you want to talk to the doctor about? Let's make a list. That's what I do before I go to the doctor. And, you know, I'm just kind of here because I have to, because you're under 18, but you got to be able to do this on your own. You got to know what your allergies are. You got to know what medical conditions that, you know, that run in our family, because you're going to be asked that. And God forbid you go to the ER from college, you're going to need to know these things.
Absolutely. So I want to back up just a little bit because we're talking about some specific examples and I can't wait to talk about lots of specific examples. But I want to talk about the general idea of launching our teens into adulthood, right? And so what does that mean for parents who have preteens and teens that are thinking about this ahead of time, that need to be thinking about this ahead of time? What does that mean?
So the sooner the better, you know, recognizing that the idea of a successful raising of a child means that that child leaves the nest and goes and lives independently. And I think parents nowadays really struggle with, like, you know, at 18, is my kid really ready? And probably not, which is why a lot of kids do go to college, where there is kind of that built-in safety net. But the idea that your child needs to be able to make decisions on their own. And how do you get them to that point where they can do that, where it's not, Mom, this happened, Mom, that, oh, you know, I have 2 classes and they're 15 minutes apart and on opposite sides of the campus. I don't know what to do. Like, you know, like, how do we set our kids up to, that's not a panic situation. Okay, so let's think about this. Like, 15 minutes probably isn't enough time, because, you know, the college kind of schedules your classes to, you know, freshman year. Perhaps you need to talk to your professors. Maybe we need to look at, like, do you need a bike? Like, you know, that there are things to do, but like, to not always be solving our kids' problems, because when we do that in middle school and high school, they then expect, well, Mom will fix it. And we want to create children, adults, young adults, who can problem solve, who don't feel like, oh, Mom will do it. And I think that there's a level of us that don't like to see our children sit with discomfort. Of course not. But where does the most growth occur in life? When we are uncomfortable, when we hit a pain point, when we struggle through something. And so we need to allow our kids to have those struggles while they're in the safety net of our homes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
you know, and then this is one of those things that, you know, as parents, we don't realize when our children have made poor decisions and our automatic thought is, I am so mad at this child right now for making this decision. We need to take a step back and say, did we teach them what they were supposed to have done in that moment?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So is this a teaching opportunity? Right.
Yes.
Or is this an actual discipline opportunity? Right. I mean, like a lot of that is on us, right? Because the whole idea of discipline is to teach our children.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that we struggle, a lot of us as parents, from going from that like command and control type parenting to kind of shifting to that more like consultant type parenting, you know, where like, you know, I'm here to talk through things, but like, I want, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, you know, that I want you to kind of sort through what are your options, you know, what are the choices? I know with my own daughter, you know, you're going to have parties. So I want you to try alcohol here. What kind of alcohol do you want to try? I will let you try any alcohol under our roof. I will take you to the liquor store. I will buy you anything you want. You will try it in our house safely. And quite frankly, she found she didn't really enjoy alcohol. So when she got to college, she wasn't really uninterested. She'd had the opportunity. So great. Check. She didn't get into trouble. And I would say to her, like, these are the concerns about drinking, the lack of being able to give consent, your inability to make good decisions. And she's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And she didn't. She went to 2 parties and she was miserable. And I even was like, just go and I'll pay for an Uber for you to come home when people get too drunk, because I want you to have that social part. She's like, I have no interest. I have no interest. So, win.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm listening to this right now and thinking, oh my goodness, such intentionality. Like, yes. Whoa, I missed the boat with, I still have a lot of younger kids too. I've got 2 teenagers now and then 3 even younger than that. And so, okay, it's not too late. Definitely missed this intentionality with the first 3. However, I feel like, whoa, that's what I'm hearing. Listeners, are you hearing that? Launching your teenager doesn't just happen. It's not haphazard. No. They're not going to just graduate high school and move out and kind of fly with wings like an eagle. Whoa, I'm hearing that I've got to be intentional about teaching them some things.
Yes, most definitely.
So I have this funny example. My oldest son, Kale, when he went away to college the first time, he went out of state, right? So he went to California and he got an eye infection. So he calls and says, what do I do? And I said, go to urgent care. And I looked up which urgent care in his area took our insurance. He goes to the urgent care, he gets the prescription, he takes it to the pharmacy, fills it, calls me and goes, Mom, it was $126. What? No, it should have been $3.
We have insurance, right?
It's a $3 copay. Wait a minute. Mom knew to tell him you have to go to an urgent care that takes your insurance. Mom did not tell him you have to pick a pharmacy that takes your insurance. Did not occur to me, right? So I have to eat the $126, right? This is my fault. This is on me for not teaching my child, hey, only certain pharmacies take our insurance.
Right.
Right. And that insurance even covers medication.
Right.
Right. So, right. I learned the hard way. You can't be mad at your kid for something that you did not teach your kid.
Yeah. And that they're clueless about.
Yeah.
And we all were. Oh my goodness. My firstborn, he made, again, I wasn't intentional. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. He was the guinea pig, but
all firsts are guinea pigs.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And he made so many bad financial choices because he just didn't know. Like, okay, here's a funny story. This is kind of a financial and kind of just a responsibility choice, but he's super kind-hearted and gentle and sweet spirit. So an older woman, like backing out, hit him in a parking lot. Like he was there, like getting in the car, just getting out or something. Like bashed his car, like broke the front headlight, like it hurt the front, like crumple, And he tells her, she's all, I'm sorry. And, oh goodness, what should we do? Do I need to pay for it? And he's all, oh, it's an old crappy used car anyway. I paid like $1,800 for it. Don't worry about it. It cracked all this, but the headlight's not broken, whatever. She drives away. That's it. I'm like, dude. And he just didn't know. He was functioning out of that kind heart. And I never told him, people have insurance. Insurance pays for things.
Yeah.
So his car was crunched and rusty and horrible, so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Lesson.
All right. So I want to ask you a question. So you mentioned that neurodiverse kids are taught social skills that neurotypical kids aren't necessarily taught, but still need to know. How does that happen?
So, when you think about our kids who are on the autism spectrum, right, we do a lot of social skill training with them now. That's a big part of treatment for them and IEP work and stuff like that. So they're getting a lot of that, like, look somebody in the eye, how do you introduce yourself? Like, hi, I'm Danica, and I shake a hand. Like they're being trained in that because that's not something that is like intuitive for them in the same way. So we've worked really hard at developing social skills training for these type of children. And what we're now seeing is these children are great at it because they've been trained and rewarded for making strides in this. We're not giving our neurotypical, our, you know, regular kids any kind of training like this. And we expect them to still know how to do it, but they don't. So I just, you know, in talking to actually a very good dear friend of ours, close family friend, she has 2 boys in the spectrum, and we were kind of talking about my program. And she was like, you know, I always hear like how great my kids are at, you know, introducing and looking people in the eye. And I'm like, well, I mean, you know, we hammer that in every day. Like, you know, and somebody comes in the house, you go up to them and you say, hello, how are you? And, you know, it's not natural for them. It's very kind of stilted, but they do it.
Right.
And we almost kind of need to back it up and give our regular kids, you know, kind of all kids, that same kind of training at this point, because they're not getting it in the same natural way that, again, kids in the 70s, 80s, and probably even 90s got it now, because everything's so tech centric. So everybody has a cell phone. So if, you know, if I want to get my hold of Johnny, I'm going to just text Johnny and say, hey, I'm outside. I'm not going to have to go ask his mom to send him out.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Yeah.
So whose job is it to teach these social skills to our regular kids?
I think it comes back to being parents. I mean, we've got to kind of take that on as parents to kind of, you know, and start young. Like, I mean, I think this starts, you know, I mean, back when kids really want to interact, we've got to kind of keep that going, you know, that when we give our kids the screens, they suddenly kind of, everything's about the screen. And so, you know, having that expectation, the younger, the better, of, you know, kind of basic social skills, like we look people in the eye, we address them, you know, and letting them practice that, you know, that I know my daughter, like, I don't want to order, like, you order for me. And like, well, it's not my dinner. So if you want dinner tonight, you need to look at the waitress and tell her what you want. What do you think is going to happen? Like, what's scary about telling her that you want chicken nuggets and French fries? Like, do you think she's going to tell you, no, you don't get chicken nuggets? Like, we're at a restaurant where we get what we want. So I need you to look at her and tell her that you want chocolate milk, chicken nuggets, and French fries. And, you know, she might be like, you know, oh, chicken nuggets and French fries. And I'm like, sweetheart, she can't hear you. Oh, it's got chicken nuggets and French fries. And, you know, they'll work with you, but like pushing them out of that comfort zone. If I just said, okay, I got it, I'll just order for you. Again, I don't let her be uncomfortable, which is hard. It's hard to see her in discomfort. Mm-hmm. But if I keep doing that, how do I expect my 17, 18, 19-year-old to go off and do it? And I know, you know, at 13, food showed up at our house. My daughter was 13. And I was like, who ordered food? And she's like, oh, I did. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm sorry, huh? Yeah, I mean, I guess you go on an app and she's a debit card. She ordered food.
That's awesome.
I never did that at 13. Like, I think my parents would have had I mean, that you couldn't do that when I was 13, but I can't imagine what my parents would have said. Like, no, you'll eat the dinner that we prepared.
Right. But that's a great evidence of that you have empowered her. You've done that intentionality well. Yes. And so she had the strength and confidence to do that. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm thinking about when my kids were younger, and even my youngest right now, she's been in our family about 5 years in the process of adoption. And so she was not with us in those early years when you have a toddler and you begin to teach your toddler those things. It is intentional. When you have a toddler, you're like, your teacher saying hi, say hi to your teacher, and you teach them to respond. You teach them when someone bends down and says, what's your name? You teach them to say what their name is, and to interact. And that is something that it's been surprising how intentional we've had to be, because she didn't have that time with us. And so still now at 9, a teacher, a new friend will say, and how old are you? And she'll just kind of shrink back, like she doesn't want to respond. And I'm like, it's okay. Can you tell her how old you are? Because a lot of times in the hurry, I want to just go, oh, she's 9. And I have to got to be intentional. Yep. It's more, I have to be more intentional with her than I would for a
Yes.
typical 9-year-old.
Correct.
But that's how I should be with all of my children. I'm hearing from you about all these things.
Well, I'm not out here to judge anybody. Like, certainly I didn't get everything perfect either. Like, we all, it's a learning experience. We do the best we can with what we have.
Yeah. This is great.
Well, but the longer that we do it for our children, the longer we're going to have to do it for our children.
Right.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Oh, and especially then they're not 9, then they're 13, then they're 15,
Yes.
then they're 18, then they're 20, and they're in California and they don't know how to pick up a prescription. Or they let somebody bash their car and they don't know about insurance. Yep.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Checklist.
Yes.
You wanna talk about it, Amy?
Yes. Okay. So you have a free checklist. I love to say the word free. Called the Adolescent Launching Checklist. So talk to us about that. Like, what's on it? How did you decide what's on it? And why are those things important?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that came out of my own practice and kind of working with teenagers and kind of recognizing the skills that they didn't have, that they would kind of come to my therapy office and be like, oh, I have to do this, and I don't know how to do it, like, help. Like, and so I'm like, okay, I'm your therapist. I'll help you with whatever you need help with. But like, this kind of doesn't seem like a therapy option, but sure. So some of it came just from, things that kids would need from me. Some of it came from, obviously, I have a 20-year-old. So kind of as I've launched her, the things that I think she needed to know. And then I actually reached out to kind of on social media to people like, what do you wish you'd known, before you were kind of sent out of the house? Like, what kind of skills did you not get that you wish you had? And so it kind of came out of a lot of different ways. And so it's kind of broken down into, there's financial, kind of things kids should know. There's health things they should know about their insurance, about their, name, their date of birth, their medical conditions, allergies they have, medications they take regularly. Why do they take them? Like, they should know all that. And it's funny, I post on social media some of these things, and I was raised by an RN. My mother was a registered nurse. So, we didn't go to the doctor until we were like dying. And so, I understand, like, you take, Tylenol for this, you take Advil or Motrin for this, you take, naproxen is like a longer kind of Advil, Motrin. And I didn't realize a lot of my friends are like, I don't know how to use all that stuff either. And I was like, oh, that's not like just, my mom was a nurse. So, we were using all that because you didn't go to the doctor. So you used all that. So I thought, I taught my daughter, like, here's how you use those. And, Tylenol is a different product than, the Motrin, naproxen, kind of those Raspin products. And, so you could take, one of those and a Tylenol, but, don't take more. We kind of had all that discussion, and I didn't realize that wasn't necessarily a skill that a lot of adults knew. So then there's kind of household things, because a lot of parents were telling me their kids like didn't know, like, we don't put aluminum in the microwave, and, we don't put like boxes in the oven, which actually my own husband did that and started a fire in our oven. So some adults don't know that.
I put a Capri Sun in the microwave when I was 11. My mom used to freeze them because we grew up in the South. It was hot, right? And so she would freeze them, put it in my lunch. And then by the time lunch came around, it was liquid again. But I wanted a Capri Sun one afternoon and it was still frozen. So I threw it in the microwave. Those of you who've never had a Capri Sun, it's an aluminum package.
Oh dear.
I caught the microwave on fire.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, for kids who don't, have never really made like a simple meal, that they're then just going to order out, and that gets expensive. For kids to understand and the financial, like the impact student debt is going to have on you when you graduate. Like, what is your salary expected to be when you graduate? And then what is that student debt going to look like monthly? And are you going to be able to afford to live? That those are important skills for kids to really stop and think about. And then there was also kind of just some general ones, like that kind of had some car stuff and other stuff. So there's multiple different sections. And then it has over 75 tasks and I'm sure there's more. Like, I don't think it's all inclusive by any means, but I kind of came up with it's 76 because I had 75 and I was like, perfect. And my sister's like, this is a really important one. And I was like, all right, now I have over 75. So it kind of just puts them all out.
You talk about laundry, like operating tools in the kitchen.
Yes. So for example, you might be able to use the washing machine and dryer at home, but like you go to college and it doesn't look the same. And like, so like going to a friend's house and like reviewing how their washing machine dryer, and like, it's going to be the same buttons, knobs, types of washes, but it's going to look different at how you set it up. And so being able to like, you're going to your friends' houses, go look at their washing machine. Like, hey, can I check out your washing machine? Cause I'm learning like, where the different cycles are and stuff. My sister finds at BU, kids come in and maybe they know how to do wash at home, but it doesn't look the same at the washing machine and dryer at school.
Yeah.
So they're lost.
Yeah. Well, and generally they also get to college. I found this with my first and second born, at home, we sorted the laundry, darks, lights, bleach load.
Yes.
College, everything goes in one load. And that cute white blouse I got for you is gray. What happened?
Or pink, and you're a boy.
Yeah. Like, okay, well, there's how we learn sometimes, but
it is.
We can be more intentional too.
Yes, most definitely.
So you have grocery shopping items, which is super important, right? I mean, because typically they're not doing the grocery shopping for the family.
Right. But understanding like where the healthiest foods are, kind of around the outside of the stores where you're going to find like the healthiest non-chemically foods. And so that's going to be kind of your best bet for staying healthy. And then, also understanding that, just because it says like, oh, 2 for $4, like, yeah, but it's $2 normally. So like, that's not a big deal. Like, like understanding that the kind of the sales, stuff that they do put in, and that, the middle kind of your eye level is where they're going to put everything they want you to buy. And it's going to be most expensive. So kind of look up, look down, that don't just buy what you see, because that's not going to be necessarily your most cost-effective way.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So you even have car care.
That's exactly what I was going to get to, Amy, because I'm like, guilty.
Yeah. I think that I don't even know how to do the things on this list.
Not remotely. Nope.
Fair enough. And, again, they don't necessarily have to know exactly how to do it, but perhaps how do they get the help then? I know I'm the oldest. So my dad, I wasn't allowed to drive, so I could change a tire, I could jump the car. Like I literally was not allowed to drive until I could do those things. My sister came along and they handed her the AAA card.
Right. Yeah.
She's like, I have no idea how to change a tire. I've never done that. I can't believe Dad made you do that. I'm like, yeah, he literally sat in a lawn chair while I did it myself.
So I have a funny story. A few years ago, Terry's car wouldn't start in the parking lot at the office. And I said, not a problem. I will jump you. I do know how to jump you because I've done that at some point in my adult life. But newer cars, the engines are covered. Like you pop the hood and it's like encased now, right?
Yes.
So you can't even see anything in the engine anymore.
Yeah.
So I open my car hood, and I have no idea where the battery is, how to find the battery, how to access the battery, where it's kept, how to even open this stuff. So Terry and I are in the parking lot on YouTube trying to figure out how to find the battery in my car so that then I can jump her car.
Golly, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Do you not remember that?
It came back to me.
I mean, we were like two grown women who should how many letters do we have after our names?
Right.
Or on YouTube,
no idea.
to figure this out.
No idea how to figure it out.
So anyway.
I love that your parents taught that your dad taught that to you though. Again, it's like intentionality. How do you help teens launch into adulthood? Intentionally scaffolding, intentionally leading them. I love what you said at the very beginning. I do, we do, you do. That's such a beautiful, just basic educational scaffolding concept that we can be more intentional with our kids about. Mm-hmm. And I've got to. Medication stuff. Yeah. So my daughter was 23. So she's 25 now, second born. She was 23 and going in for knee surgery. I was with her heading into it. I went to where she was off in college to be with her. And
Yep.
Of course, my gosh, big deal. She's going into surgery. So I'm with her. We're I'm in the room. This was pre-COVID.
Yep.
So, she's going into the pre-op stuff. We're talking to the anesthesiologist, and all of a sudden, light bulb, I realize the anesthesiologist is talking about what they're going to do. And I had been kind of confused. Well, I don't understand why they're doing it that way. We have malignant hypothermia in my family. And my daughter knows this, because my oldest son has had lots of surgeries. But yes, it's been a thing we've talked about, but she just didn't put it together. And I was never intentional about teaching her. And so here she was about to head into a surgery where they're going to do gas, which can kill you if you have malignant hypothermia. And if it's in your family, it's genetic, you don't do it. It's not done. They have to do propofol or some other anesthesia. And so, oh my goodness, the anesthesiologist was so mad. I should have known this. We should have had this in the pre-op. They had to delay the surgery.
Oh, wow.
All these things because, Amy, just like what you were saying, I missed it. I wasn't intentional. And so I'm sitting there with the anesthesiologist. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My fault. Don't be mad at my daughter. It all worked out. But those things are so important.
Absolutely. Yep. It is really important. There's so many kids are on medications and you'll ask them why are you on that? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, at 16, you kind of need to know why you're taking medications, I really think almost any kid should know why they're taking medications, because if we're giving them something to put in their body, they should kind of know why.
Right.
So 16, 17, I don't know. I take something for my allergies. I don't know. I'm like, what are you allergic to? I don't know.
Yeah.
You kind of need to know.
Yeah.
And like you said, need to know the difference. What's the difference between ibuprofen and Tylenol? And can we take everything all together and a handful of aspirin and, watch out.
Right. Exactly. And that we really want to be careful with Tylenol. Tylenol is something we really want to follow the directions on.
Well, and if I'm at a friend's house and I'm already on a medication, what can't I take if I've got a headache and that my friend's mom wants to give me something, right? If I'm on a blood thinner, I can't take Motrin.
Correct.
So,
and two, if I'm taking a multi-symptom cold medicine, can I take something in additional? Because I need to look and see oh, hey, this already has acetaminophen. That's Tylenol. I can't take any more Tylenol then. To be aware that you can see what's in the medications on the box or bottle. You need to be aware of what you're putting in your body. Don't just randomly take, a handful of medications.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is a super comprehensive checklist.
Yeah.
And you've leveled it. Can do, needs practice, plan to start, and accomplished. So can you talk about those criteria a little bit?
Yes. So, understanding that, some of these things your kids may already know, that you don't have to really be intentional about teaching them. They may just kind of already know because they're inquisitive about what medications they take. So if they already know how to do it, obviously skip over it. If it's something that you're like, oh, this is something that I kind of feel like we need to kind of teach these couple things first, let's put that off then, let's kind of do it more in order. But kind of looking at, what's the plan to kind of get through these things. And I think too, to just give you an idea of, again, things you might not have thought of, that was kind of the goal, to not just think of well, my kid knows how to do laundry. They do their own laundry. Right. But can they do their own laundry in somebody else's wash machine? They know how to do it with the products you give them. What if the products don't look like what you give them?
Right. So
they're borrowing from a friend.
How do we use it? How do we use the checklist? Do we just sit down one Saturday morning and say, all right, we're going to have a marathon launch checklist day?
Or I would say probably not, because you're going to lose your kid in about 5 minutes, if that long. I think it's something that as parents, and I think you can show it to your child. It's not a secret, something you can kind of hang on the fridge and kind of hey, these are kind of things that we're going to be kind of, talking about working on. I may be asking you to do things that seem kind of crazy. Why would I make you kind of go out and learn how to change a tire when the tire's fine? But these are skills I want you to know how to do. I want you to know how to find, the book in our car that tells you where the battery is, or, how much to inflate the tires to, or, kind of just, I want you to kind of be aware of this. So as we go to the gas station to put air in the tires, I'm going to ask you to come with me. We're going to kind of, oh, I got a flat tire. I'm going to have you come out and change it with me, or you come change it, or, that I may be asking you to do these things that may seem like, why did you want me to do them? Well, I want you to do them because I'm trying to give you these skills for when you're on your own, and that, and maybe even have your team look at them like, what of these don't you know how to do? And they may be like, oh yeah, no, I know how to do, or they may say, wait, what's the thing with microwave and metal? What's wrong with aluminum foil? Like, that's a simple, discussion. Well, hey, when I was 11, I put a Capri Sun in and ruined the microwave, So we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
The way microwaves work, that sparks and we create fires, and we don't want fires. I remember I went to college and I was an RA. So I was a resident assistant. I was like a leader in the resident's life. And we had training up the wazoo. And one day there was a small fire in the bathroom of the boys. And so my best friend and I were on duty together. And it was like, oh my God, we need the fire extinguisher. So like she goes against the fire extinguisher and like throws it to me. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with a fire extinguisher. Like, I've never used one. And she was like, wait, there's directions. Like, so literally like the trash can's on fire. And like, we're like, let's read the directions on the fire extinguisher. And like, we still to this day laugh about that because we were trained in like everything except like how to use a fire extinguisher.
Is that
so
on
it's
the
like,
list?
I don't think that is on the list, but it probably should be.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, oh my goodness.
Yeah, we should add that.
I need to go over that.
You've got 77 now, Danica.
Yes. Well, 78 because somebody else wanted me to put on there that I should how to write a check. That's not actually on the list.
Yeah.
But kind of how often are we really writing checks nowadays?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Writing a check now is kind of
feel like that's more of an obsolete. Yeah.
But you know what? There's not a fire extinguisher app on their cell phone. So we still need to learn how to use a fire extinguisher.
There you go. Yes. And they're pretty easy to use. Having had to use one, they are pretty easy. The big takeaway is you got to hold the hose because the hose goes everywhere.
So the lesson I'm hearing here, besides the fire extinguisher, is that we don't want to wait until the week before they're leaving for college to start this process.
Absolutely not. I really think this is a process that starts like elementary, middle into high school. Like this is kind of an ongoing process. And really, I think a lot of the launching stuff starts in middle school, but I'm starting out. So we're starting with the high school kids because we got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. All right. So we need to take a quick break and let Terry read a word from our sponsor. When we come back, we want to hear about your coaching program.
Did you know that more than 6 million children in America have been diagnosed with ADHD? Many of them struggle in school because of their condition. But what if I told you that poor attention may not be the primary cause of their struggles? In a research study with more than 5,000 people with ADHD, we found their working memory, long-term memory, and processing speed were less efficient than their attention skills. So an intervention that only targets attention might miss the opportunity to work on those other skills we need to think and learn. Learningrx can help you identify which skills may be keeping your child from performing their best. In fact, we've worked with more than 100,000 children and adults who wanted to think and perform better. We'd like to help get your child on the path to a brighter and more confident future. Give us a call at 866-BRAIN-01 or visit learningrx.com. That's learningrx.com.
And we're back talking to Danica Kopp about how to successfully launch your teenager into adulthood. So Danica, you've got a coaching program for parents. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes. So I am now coaching parents to successfully launch children they like into the world. So my goal is to not only have your child be successful in the world, but ideally that you remain connected with them and that they actually want to call you when they're away at college. Because I think that's a real critical piece. Not only that they're successful out there, but that you still have a relationship with them.
Okay, so I have to say, I missed the modifier on that for a second. And I thought, oh, it's only for the children that you like, not for the children that you don't like. But now I understand that you're saying
Yes.
You want to like your children when they're adults.
Yes, that I want to help you too. Yeah, no, we just want kids that we like. The other ones, whatever. Good luck. No, yes, I want you to be able to have a relationship that your child wants to connect with you. You want to be connected with your child. That basically, as adults, you are now connected as friends. I mean, you're still going to be the consultant because you're the parent, but that you're not the you do. And that your child sees you as a resource and as a friend, as somebody that they can reach out to, who's got their back, who cares about them. But that it's not one-sided where you're like, I never hear from you. That's my goal. So looking at, go ahead.
Oh no, I just was saying, yeah, I see that what you're describing. Yeah, such a delicate balance, because
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends that have young adult kids that don't want to have anything to do with them. Friends on both sides of the line, kind of, where, one friend, she was too controlling. And so even when her kid was in college, she tried to control and do everything and hold on. And now that kid's like, get away from me. And then you've got the parent that was like, look, you're in college. Sorry, done with you. I'm not going to help you anymore. And oh my goodness, what a delicate balance, because we haven't all done it right and been intentional all along the way. And so my goodness, then when we're in that launching, to walk that delicate balance.
Absolutely. And I think too, I know, I came from an upper middle class, affluent area. And I mean, I moved back with my parents at 30, I mean, as I'm kind of, getting ready to get married and kind of, giving up apartments and trying to buy a house, where am I going to go? Like, okay, mom and dad, can I come crash back in my bedroom? I mean, and when we moved out of state, and, just, the crash of 2009 was really hard. And my parents helped pay the mortgage on our house in Massachusetts because we were going to foreclose on it. So it's, I don't really think that you ever stop parenting, right? That, I was very, very, very fortunate that my parents were able to help me in that way. And I know not all parents can do that, but the idea of like, good luck, you're on your own, I did it, is not a helpful way of parenting. Even if you can't financially step in and help, you can still help them brainstorm. You can still be present with them. You can still empathize with their struggle, right? And I think too, on the flip side, when you talk about like the parents who are helicoptering and trying to come in, and it's like, oh my God, just leave me alone. Like, you're overbearing and it's too much. And so really kind of looking at, in healthy parenting, our children are going to launch successfully, and we are not going to have them in our nest forever. That's not the goal of a family life cycle. Family life cycle means they go off and create their own family and start a new cycle. And so it's coming to terms with, again, as my daughter began to drive, I only have one. So she's been everything. I've done everything with her. And my husband worked every other weekend. So she and I were buddies, and we've thankfully always gotten along. But I've also been very cognizant to kind of like, this is your choice. I'm here to drive you. But once she started driving, I knew my life was going to drastically change, because everything I did was about her activities. And now she's going to be taking herself there. She has a car. And so as she approached that time, was like, okay, what do I want to do? Like, let me get back into like the crafting I used to like to do when she was little and I had time. And like, oh, hey, I love the water. Let me take up kayaking. Like, I was intentional in looking at what are the activities can I engage in, because I'm going to have more time on my hands. And I don't want to sit there and go, woe is me, I don't have my kid. And I also didn't want to overcrowd her, right? I wanted her to be able to fly appropriately. And so it wasn't her job to entertain me. And
Right.
so it's a real kind of re-looking at your life and your relationship. If you still have a partner, we did that too. Kind of like, okay, hey, like, it's going to be the two of us again. Like, do we still like each other? Like, what do we like to do for fun, the two of us? Like, we went through that. And like, yay, okay, we still enjoy each other. We still have, things in common. That's good. But there's a real kind of shift in the family as kids begin to launch. And so parents recognizing their own anxieties and worries, and again, wanting their children to be successful, but needing them to do their best, right? And fail, and allowing that to happen, and sitting in that discomfort as a parent, but also recognizing that this is normal. This is okay. And that, maybe our moms didn't go through this because they weren't as involved in parenting. Like, you know, my mother never set up a play date for me. Like, a play date? Like, I remember her saying that to me. What the hell's a play date, Danica? And I'm like, oh, it's where we get the girls together and they have a playtime. And she's like, yeah, no, you just went outside and you created a play date on your own. There were no play dates. Like, what's like, that was never a thing. And so for my mom, like, yeah, bye-bye. Like, I mean, she loved me and she was available to me, but like, there was no like launching. Like, this was just, yeah, okay, peace out. You're an adult now and we're here when you need us.
Absolutely.
So good.
What does it look like to work with you in your coaching program?
Yeah.
So luckily right now I'm still fairly new. So right now, if you get in, you're working one-on-one with me, but I'm developing modules. So I'm looking at like helping you determine what does success look like, because for your family, it's going to look different than it does in my family. So really kind of hammering down what is success going to look like? And then how do you communicate those expectations to your child, right? Because it's one thing for us to be like, oh, he's going to college. Well, what's he going to study? And have you really looked at like what they're interested in studying? And then like, what kind of jobs can they get? So, you know, there's some you can get any academic area and you can still get a job, but you know, your kid wants to be a CSI because they love that TV show. Like, let's have a discussion about that. So kind of being intentional around what the expectations are. You know, for some families, you know, they get married very young, and, you know, there's some, you know, religions and stuff out there where they, you know, they might do a junior college or a year or two, and then they get married, and that can be success for them. And that's great. Like, again, whatever success looks like in your family, go for that. For others, you know, success is, you know, med school. And so, you know, you got a long haul to get there. So being able to identify that, and then identify kind of the values that you have around that. And again, that communication with your children, looking at how do you begin to kind of release some of that, and again, become that consultant, not that command do, and kind of going maybe with some of the checklist items to kind of how do you make sure your child's prepared. And I think beginning to have those discussions around, as your parent, I'm going to start to kind of step back. I want to be able to kind of problem solve with you around situations. So, you know, hey, we're going out to a concert, you know, is that okay? Well, let's talk about that, you know, as opposed to, no, you can't go to a concert, it's too late, you know. Right. Well, I need some more details, like who you're going with, who's driving, where is the concert, you know, how will you get home? And then, you know, what I would say to my daughter is concerns about that. Sounds like it's, you know, what happens, like you're going into DC and that's a big city. And I'm a little bit nervous about kind of, you know, at 16, you going into DC. So let's problem solve. How else can we help? Can I help with this? You know, at 18, I'm going to have less say in that. And so then, but hopefully I've kind of prepared her again all along. Like I might say to my 16-year-old, I want you to go to this concert. I'm willing to drive. You know, and maybe is there another parent who would pick up? So kind of not just saying hard no's on things, but kind of like, let's problem solve. You know, these are the concerns I have about that decision. Help me to feel comfortable, you know, as opposed to blanket yeses or nos. Right. And so again, bringing up your concerns, you're allowing your child to then also think through, I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. And I want my daughter to be able to go to a party and college and make good decisions, because she's had to kind of think through, well, what would mom say about this? Mm-hmm. Mom would say her concerns are blah, 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 blah. It wasn't a no. I actually rarely said no to her. It usually was, these are the concerns I have about that activity, or these are the concerns I have about, you know, that plan. So help me not be concerned.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that perspective. Mm-hmm. You also have a Facebook group.
I do, yes. So I have a parenting Facebook group where you can also, you know, ask questions, and I tend to post YouTube videos, and so you can suggest topics for that. And so that's all free. You know, obviously working with me coaching has a cost to it, but I have lots of free resources with YouTube, the checklist, my Facebook group. I post on Instagram. So yes.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Well, this has been a great conversation. And Danica, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your busy day just to share this wisdom, and something that seems so simple, but we just screw up over and over again. Yeah. Right. And so I just love that we had this conversation about something that we can easily take care of. Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. I mean, this is one of those problems that has a really easy solution. Yeah. We just have to know to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then take the effort to do it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure also.
So we will, if you want to connect with Danica, we will put her social media handles in the show notes, along with a link to download her adolescent launching checklist. It is free. Everybody needs this. Are you hearing me? So we will put that link to download it and a link to her parenting Facebook group as well. So thank you so much for listening today. If you liked our show, we would love it if you would leave us a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts. We are also on YouTube if you want to watch us, and follow us on social media at The Brainy Moms. So look, until next time, we know that you're busy moms and we're busy moms. So we are out.
See ya.